Hello, viewers, and welcome to our deep dive around taking flight with digital onboarding. My name is Ryan Scafidi, and I'm a solutions engineer here at Totango, and I will be one of the two individuals taking you through our deep dive on digital onboarding. With me is my colleague, Susan Rabano.
Hi, everyone. Welcome. And I'm Susan Rabano, and I'm a Senior Customer Success Manager here at Totango.
So for today's session, what we're going to do is we'll introduce digital onboarding overall, regardless of what tool you use to accomplish your digital onboarding in terms of best practices. But then we're going to dive into some examples of how you can incorporate digital onboarding, leveraging Totango's capabilities. So that's what the agenda will look like for today. But then we'll get into some specific examples, and then we'll close up with some best practices. And the Q&A could be digital at this point. So any questions you have at the end of this, feel free to send us those questions that you might have. But that being said, Susan, I think we can get started here on the slides.
Awesome. So taking flight with digital onboarding, well, Totango works for you. And with our automation, you can onboard high volumes of customers quickly and efficiently. You know, everybody wants to use few resources as possible and get the customers a quick time to value. And with using the digital onboarding processes, you'll be able to do that. You'll also be able to scale that high volume customer group, create these processes, enable you to continue to grow your organization quickly and consistently as well. So providing consistent process delivery. The other thing is you'll be able to visualize your progress and visualize that customer health throughout the onboarding process. And then, of course, this process enables you to gather feedback at the end of it all. So you can continually learn what your customers are saying, how they're feeling about your processes, and iterate. Totango's an iterative tool. And so you can always make corrections along the way. There's some key components of your program to keep top of mind. So first off, we say a quick value attainment, right? So you want to be goal-oriented and task-oriented.
When it comes to kind of envisioning your digital onboarding strategy, it's easy to look at these bullet points and say, oh yeah, that makes sense. I got to determine my goals. But a good way for you to relate to maybe what those goals are for you could be thinking about how other things that you're engaging with, maybe on a daily basis even, are trying to get you to accomplish different things. Now, obviously, every business has their own goals to get that stickiness. But one of the examples that Susan and I like to cover here is thinking of anything social media related. The first thing that has to happen is you're going to sign up. You're going to say, okay, here, I'm Ryan, I'm willing to sign up. And then they're going to ask you this key information. What's your email address? So you're going to enter that in. And then you're going to get an email the next day, maybe the next minute. The timing, entirely up to you what your process is, but it's going to start encouraging you to do things that will make you more involved with their product, which will keep you on as a customer. So thinking of social media, maybe the first thing they want you to do is, hey, let's let people know who you are when they click on your username. So let's upload a picture. So they're going to want you to do that. And then they're going to say, hey, why don't you make your first post? It's really easy. Let's show you how. And they'll have like a little step-by-step process to get you started, because they know once they get you to do it once, you're more likely to do it again and again. So I know social media is probably not applicable exactly to the way that you're doing business, but I think it's a common example that everyone can understand. And if you can take those examples about how they're trying to get you involved and kind of think, okay, well, what are we really trying to get our customers to do immediately, or what's our end goal with them? You'll be able to figure out what are those goals and those specific tasks that you want your users to accomplish. And again, the result of that would hopefully be they're much more sticky as a customer.
Awesome. And the other thing that's really important with that is to understand that digital onboarding is dynamic. So customers or users will complete their tasks at different times and different stages. So in different order from what you think they should do. So as a new social media customer, I may load my profile picture right away, but then I don't invite any of my friends to join. What you want to do then is use that data to guide that user through the process. So you'll want to figure out that how are you going to reach back to me to say, hey, Susan, it's time to invite your friends. We noticed it's been 7 days since you joined. We want you to invite your friends. So think about those tasks that are related to that social media experience.
Yeah, great point there, Susan. They don't all have to be follow one strict path. I mean, using social media again, I mean, as much as they want me to load my picture, if I'm making posts, they're like, great, this is even better. He hasn't loaded his picture, but at least he's actively adding posts, or he already invited some other people. So sometimes you might have tasks that are dependent on a previous tasks, but I'd say most often there's 10, if there's 10 things you need them to do and it doesn't matter the order, just kind of send them out there in an order that you think might be helpful for them. And if you get any of them, great, great. And then we can focus on the other ones later.
Yeah, and that's also an area where you can iterate. You know, you can over time, as you're monitoring, you can decide that, hey, my users are actually doing the reverse, so maybe I should change my order of what I'm hoping they'll achieve and accomplish. The other thing that's important in your digital onboarding strategy is that you leverage human touch based on the needed behavior. So for example, if I really wasn't loading my picture, or something that was really important to make me a sticky user, then that's where you might create what we call success play to trigger a CSM or someone in your organization to reach out and personally offer to help them. Or you might create a campaign, an email to the customer, to Susan, to say, here's some quick and easy ways to upload your profile picture. So you can add those how-to instructional emails as well. So then I also want to mention that digital onboarding doesn't only mean that low touch, no touch customer. Digital onboarding applies to any tier of your customer base. And so today we're focusing on the low to no touch, but just keep in mind that many of these digital onboarding or digital strategies work for your enterprise or strategic customer too, because you do want to send them process-oriented emails in your plans. So how do I start? Well, first off, if you haven't explored our customer journey marketplace, this is a place that has everything you need and more to get started. What it is our place, it's our library. And this is where you can go to add or download these success blocks that are modules that encompass everything you want to know about a particular customer journey stage or initiative. So I'm going to show you in the tool where to find this, and more specifically what they do for you. And same thing with covering success blocks. So success blocks are a huge value to you as you build out your organization or enhance your customer success organization, because they are modules that are outcome based, that help you to build out your processes, to identify based on your goals and your KPIs, how do I want to achieve those goals. And I can do that through tasks that are automated, through system automated tasks, and through campaigns or emails to my customers.
Yeah, not to assume the knowledge that you as a viewer has of Totango. Success block is a Totango term, but if you kind of take a step back from Totango and think about the customer journey and the different stages within, success block is really just our replacement for that customer journey stage. Now, the reason we've branded it as success block is because success block is a tool / feature of Totango that makes it very, very easy for you to define your goals and build in that automation that Susan was referring to, whether it's tasks that get assigned to your CSM or these automated digital campaign emails that go directly to the users. And you can kind of organize those all however you want what you get in. And eventually Susan's going to kind of demo where you can find these success blocks and how you can work with them.
So once again, how do I start? Well, keep in mind, we understand that digital onboarding is not a linear process. But we are going to look at it in steps just for easy understanding. So your first step is going to be to add the success block from the marketplace, which we'll show you how to do, and then set your goals. So you're building that scorecard of what goals do we need to accomplish and monitor through that set of customers that are onboarding, and then welcome new users. That's your first real call to action is to create that or enable that welcome new user campaign that we've already created for you. And then you want to launch it and execute that strategy. So you don't have to build perfection in order to start. Just get it started, and you can start it with a small group of customers and really monitor your progress and iterate as you go. So let's take a look here at our demo. So when you all are logging in, I just want to point out that, and this customer journey marketplace where you can find all things customer journey stage related or initiative related. So when we talk about customer journey stage, we're talking onboarding, adoption, renewals, expansions, risk. We're also talking about initiatives such as voice of customer or key stakeholder management, things like that, and you can build your own success blocks as well. So if you have, let's say you have a customer conference that is a big conference, and you want to build a success block to set goals for the CSMs to find speakers and invite their customers, et cetera, you can create a success block around that. But what we've done is created these pre-built framework success blocks for you to view. And in this case, what you do is you can look here, you can filter by, let's just say, digital touch. And now I can see my digital onboarding. So I can look at my details here, and I can see exactly what's contained in the success block. And I'll tell you that this is a good tutorial for anybody who's fairly new to customer success. Go through these different stages and success blocks and see what's included, what kinds of success plays, which are our automated tasks. Learn and explore. Today, we're going to talk about just adding this to your instance. And so what I'm actually going to do, I'll add this for you so you can see. It's pretty quick. Then it's going to guide you through the setup here. Then I just want to show you here how we've got these. Let me get out of this for a moment. 1 second. So we've got the different tabs within the success block. And so the first tab that you'll see is that setup tab. But we're going to move over to the scorecard and give you a sense of what the scorecard looks like. Within Drive Activation, this is what I want to do, right? I want to get my customers, as my new users, signed up. I want to welcome them. And so I can see here that I have 58 new users as of today. And then this here is this link takes me to the segment, which is comes from our query engine of how you ask and answer a question. So the segment is the data that feeds each of these cards. And so if you haven't learned yet how to create a segment, you'll want to look at that in our help center, which is here. And I'll just show you. You would go to Totango Help Center. It opens a new tab here. And this is where you have all kinds of information of frequently asked questions, as well as that's our knowledge base, so you can learn. All right, so we've got our scorecard here. We've got, these are the segments that I was just talking about. Ryan, is there anything about segments that you think I should say beyond my introduction of them?
The one thing about segments I always tell people is it's just my favorite feature of Totango, and that's because I love slicing and dicing data, and segments makes it very, very easy to do so. Every data point that you have, whether you're loading it in or we're keeping track of some of this activity that you might be having, you're seconds away from an answer to a question. So whenever my boss comes to me and says, "Hey, Ryan, how many customers are doing this?" I go, hold that thought. I go research it in segments, and I have an answer back in seconds. And I can even forward that to them if I wanted to. So they're really easy to use. It's like having all your data in an Excel file and just putting in filters.
Great, thank you. So then also within each success block, you'll see we've got reports. So reports are trend lines, and these come from your segments, okay? And that's a more advanced topic. Then we have assets, and this is where you'll want to put all of your templates and like your kickoff decks or anything that links of information that you expect to share with your customers or that you want your CSMs to be able to see. So it's a best practice repository for all things digital onboarding. Then success plays, here's the magic one, which is, this is a play, like a playbook. This is how we create our automated tasks. And those automated tasks can be to automate the system to update a field or an attribute in Totango, or it can be an automated task to that goes out to the assigned CSM for the account where that triggered, where that event or behavior triggers the play. So for example, if a CSM triggered success play would be that after this new customer has completed their onboarding, they've been automatically sent a post-onboarding customer satisfaction survey. Well, the results that came back on a scale of 1 to 5 were low. They were below 3 or below. And so the CSAT survey follow-up for the poor feedback goes to the CSM and says, please follow up with the customer. And so that dynamically fills in the name of the account and the user and what the score was. And so it's up to you as the CSM to reach out and learn more. This is one of those areas where that human interaction is important, because with the digital onboarding or digital processes, it's not a set it and forget it. It's something that you monitor, and the intention is always to make your customers feel comfortable that they are being taken care of, right? So that they are successful with your products. And so that human interaction is important. Yes.
And a good example of that is some things that we have in place here at Totango. Now, you probably learned about this session via an email campaign that we're sending out, or by navigating to our learning hub, which you probably got that link from reaching out to an AE, a CSM, or again, through an email campaign. And on that page, we have a lot of things for you to learn, but we also have deep dive sessions for that human interaction. So I know this is a recorded example, so you can kind of listen to it on your own time. But if you want that human interaction, you can certainly come to one of these deep dive sessions that are live with Susan and I, and you can ask your very specific question and we can give you a very specific answer in the moment. So when you're thinking of that digital onboarding, it's yes, let's see if we can get our customers to do these things. But they are no doubt going to have questions where it's much easier to talk to someone than maybe go back and forth a lot of times with questions and emails. So this being an example of how you can create those types of processes is a good thing to think about when you're planning out your own process.
Thank you, Ryan. And then campaigns, let's see. Okay, so now the really, really fun stuff. This is the campaign tab. And so what will come loaded for you are these different campaigns. We actually just numbered them for this demo purpose, only because we wanted you to be able to see the sequence as an example. But we typically don't number them within the framework that you'll be loading. So if you decide you want to number them, you can just edit the name. But in this case, remember that welcome email that I mentioned in my step slide. Well, this is important. As soon as a user logs in for the first time at Totango, we send them a quick email to say, welcome, new user. And in this case, you can see welcome to awesome company. Well, this is going to be, we of course highly recommend that you follow suit and have your own welcome email. And you can just take this one exactly as it is, and you can apply your logo, which I can show you in a moment. You can apply your logo and your color schemes, and you can use this artwork if you like. because this is brand agnostic and welcome for you to use. You're welcome to use it. You can change the text in here. This would be just your name, of course. We're excited you chose us, and you can even embed a video here of a getting started video. You can add links, and you can measure the success of your welcome by how many links they click on. So it's very, very easy to build this out, to drag and drop the functionality, and then you would just hit enable once you're done with that. Then the next one that you'd want to do is add users. And so this is an example to show you how you encourage your customer to add users. And so, feel free to use this. See, this is one of our call to action buttons, and this is going to actually link to an action, which would be your tool of how it should take them right to where they would go to add team users. I just want to back up a little bit. And as we're looking at campaigns, what's important to know is who are you targeting and what is the criteria that is important to you to identify who's going to get this email. So in the first example, the welcome, our target was users who've logged in for the first time, or their first activity date was today or within the last 2 days. Those are some examples, some ideas for you. And then in this case, this is, we've added users equals 0. So you're just programming the system to know what is it that's important that you want them to do. So this customer, this user's that's being sent this email was active just 3 days ago, and we want them to quickly add new users. And so we're going to tell them how to do it and make it very easy. So we're really holding their hand digitally, connecting those dots for them digitally. And so then we just continue with this planning and this process.
One thing I just want to remind everyone who might be viewing is these are just suggestions that we've created. We know that not every single one of these might relate to you, your product, or your services that you're providing your customers. These are all customizable. Use these as a suggestion to get you started, because as we know, sometimes getting started is the hardest part. Use these to get you started and say, you know what, Totango is saying we should do it this way. It's a good idea, but it doesn't work for us. Let me see if I can tweak that a little bit and make some changes that way. So just a reminder that you can use what's already here, or you can change all of it to match what you're looking to do.
Yes, thank you. And you can always add a new campaign right here. And so these are the templates that we've pre-built, all based on our customers' input and suggestions and feedback of what we've had. So I think you'll really enjoy this. You can see that we've categorized them. So we've got announcement templates, we've got invitations, we've got celebrations. Great job, you've just completed your first profile, or your first post on social media, whatever you want to relate this to. We like to use these for features. So when our customers first access a feature that's important to Totango, we like to send them a thank you, or hey, good job, you've now logged your first touch point. And then we also want your input. So what did you think? Please rate your experience with Touchpoint. So we're engaging in many ways, and not just for our low to no touch, but we're sending those out for our customers who have assigned customer success managers too, on behalf of the CSM. Scroll through here, you'll get lots of ideas. We have our predefined feedback campaigns that you can select from, and then you can just click on that and then build it to work for you. Great. So I would like to show you then one more thing before I get back to my slides. It's just that when you go into, if you're a global admin or you have global admin rights, you want to go into your global settings here, and you go into your campaigns here. And this is where you're going to add your logo and set your color scheme that you want. And you do all of this under theme. And so it gives you that option. So you'll find too that you can set goals. You can have many links and many call to action buttons, which we all like call to action buttons because they're very visually appealing. You can change the color, you can change the outline. There's really a lot of flexibility here. So be sure to go into this customer engagement campaign settings so that you can set it up with all of your set your branding images and fonts and things. And then when you go into all of those templates, they'll automatically be loaded with that settings. Okay, so let's move through. I really want to get into some key points, some good reminders that the digital journey is not linear. You basically want to welcome, activate, get them to set up, and then go live. Keep it simple. Best practice recommendations. Here we have the new admin, new user enablement. So provide a customer portal where you can refer them to for more learning videos. We have in our portal, we have some how-to user training videos, and try to keep those to 90 seconds or less. And start with the small tasks, like here's how you create a task, if it's Totango, or here's how you add a new user, here's how you do this and that, the small steps. Offer technical office hours. So you've got a one-to-many type of forum of training and Q&A. And we do that weekly. Ryan leads one of ours. And then offer deep dive sessions such as this to further their understanding of the tool. And then once you've got that onboarding going, or you've moved them through pretty far along, you want to drive the usage of key features. And so you can send those attaboys, those good job, the emails that we were talking about. You also might want to create an end user champions program so that you're getting really good current feedback from your customers. And then always act and make your decisions based on the data. So as you're moving through creating those campaigns, always think of what is the data, what are the actions that I need to be able to identify to create those next step emails. And then leverage campaigns on an ongoing basis to keep your product top of mind for your customer.
If you have additional questions, you can either reach out through the medium that you found this. So you might be in contact with an AE. If you're on the sales side, if you're a current customer, you have a CSM that you can reach out to. And you can always go to their learning hub and sign up for other webinars where you can also talk to somebody. So we hope this isn't the last time you interact with some of our one-to-many options that are there for you to help train you on some best practices. And we look forward to seeing you and more in the future.
It's great. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.